Hi, I'm God. This tutorial will run you through everything you need to know to get started on Starscape. This first part will be for fucking special ed kids who have trouble completing the starter missions. Skip this if you have an IQ above 100. Timestamps can be found in the description, so yeah, here I go. After creating your ugly ass character, you should start doing your starter missions. Press I to open your GUI and go in the missions tab to see more information. It tells you to get your fat ass out of the cloning bay, so you get your fat ass out of the cloning bay. Next, you go to the docking base, go into the docking base, open this terminal and spawn your shitty ship. I'm not gonna explain how you control the ship because all the controls are literally on the left side of your screen. Once you're in space, hold the space bar on your keyboard to open the quick travel menu and go to the ring. Once you're in the ring, go mine asteroids that look like this. The other asteroids are not mineable, so don't even bother. To mine it, you just shoot it and little pieces will fall out and you just fly over to collect them. After you collect it, you can press I to see this beautiful rock in your inventory, and now you gotta head back to the Citadel. To get the fuck out of the ring, you must warp to the warp hub of the planet first, then warp to the Citadel. Now you head back to the dock your ship, go to the upper level, go to the marketplace and sell your ore. Now the game will tell you to press M to see this gigantic fucking map that'll probably overwhelm your brain, and there you go, the starter tutorial is over. Press I to open the menu and go to the missions tab again, and now you get 4 more fucking missions. We will first complete the interface tutorial. It tells you to go to the stand tab, so you fucking go there. Do I really have to explain how to do this? Just read the fucking thing, click where it tells you to click. Jesus fucking Christ. You just gotta go back in mission and check where it wants you to click next every time you finish clicking. Listen, if you can't do this, you shouldn't play this fucking game. Fuck off back to Brookhaven, alright? Next, intro to manufacturing. Go to the lower levels, go to manufacturing, talk to this bitch, grab your Stratos, hold space to bring this quick travel menu up, go to Bentham asteroid field, mine these ores and fuck off back to Citadel. Now you gotta refine your ores. Go to the lower levels, refinery and refine all. Now go back to the manufacturing terminal and make a system probe. Finally report back to this bitch and you're done. Next, prepare for combat. Go to the Corsec field office located in the lower level, talk to this nerd, grab your ship, hold space to bring the quick travel menu up, and you fuck off to the guard. Once you're in guard, hold space again and you can see the mission. Click on it, go to this wreckage, find this little shit, read this boring shit and kill 2 drones. You click to fire. I feel fucking stupid for telling you that. It's just pew pew, it's easy, alright? Just now you go back to Citadel, report back to this nerd and you're done. Finally, the last starter mission. Welcome to the galaxy. You go to the lower level, go to the fucking Democrat Smurf's office and talk to this nerd. Then you go to the Full Rock and Empire's embassy, talk to this Chad, then you fuck off to the green toaster fuckers, vegetable people's embassy. Talk to this woman, go to the trade union office, talk to another woman, then you go to the upper level, talk to this dude hiding behind the plants and choose the Full Rock and Empire standing because fuck everything else. This is the Chaos Legion tutorial, suck my dick.
I'm gay!
Congrats, you just completed the tutorial, but now you're probably just standing there wondering, so what the fuck do I do now? Well, I'll tell you what to do. Go to the marketplace, go to the ship tab, and grab the otter. It's a mining ship. Now you go and craft or buy yourself a planet probe, not system. Maybe bring more than one if you know that your luck is shit. Then you go to the docking bay terminal, assemble your otter, and fuck off to the space. Press M to open your map, and I'm telling you, for now only go to the blue places. You cannot afford to lose your otter. You do not want to mine with your fucking Stratos. Now before you do anything, if you see these red icons or targets or whatever, those are drones. They will attack you, so you cannot beat them in a miner, so warp away, fuck off to somewhere safe, alright? Thank you. You do not want to lose your otter. Now fuck off to one of these blue systems that has a ring planet. To see if there's a ring planet in the system, you press M, then you check here. If you see an icon of a planet that looks like Saturn, you're in luck. Warp to those ring planet to see if they have aberrations. If they do, you're gonna see those question mark things like these. If they do have aberrations, equip your probes and sending the probes by holding 1. If there are enemy NPCs, then send the probes in and temporarily warp away so you don't get shot while the probe is probing. You should be able to find R aberrations, that stands for ring aberrations. Then you go there to mine. Why you should mine in the ring aberration? Well, because the ring usually have superior or even pristine ores, which gives you more material when you refine them. Chances are you're not gonna find any pristine ores because you're in the blue system, and blue systems fucking suck. But mining superior ore is far better than mining normal ore. You can trust me on that. Now here, I will open a little parenthesis on all the anomalies, aberrations, and ores.
I'm 11!
There are currently 8 resources in this game. Coralite, Recnite, and Gellium are all common ores, and their asteroids can be inferior, normal, superior, or pristine. Inferior ore gives you 1 material, normal 2, superior 3, and pristine 4. Coralite and Recnite both sells for around 5 to 7, while Gellium sells for around 9 to 12. It means that, for example, if you get a pristine Gellium ore, you're earning around 36 to 46 credit because each ore gives you 4 Gellium. So if you found Gellium in your ring, you're really fucking lucky. Next there's Axnite. Axnit, I don't give a fuck, which sells for around 50 bucks each. Axnit only has 2 ore types, normal and pristine. Normal gives you 1 Axnit, while pristine gives you 2. After that there's Narcor, which sells for around 100 bucks. There is only normal Narcor ore. Then there's Red Narcor, which sells for 500 bucks, and just like Narcor, there is only normal red Narcor ore. Then there's Vexnium, which sells for a shitload and they can only be found in VX anomalies. Of course, they only have the normal variant. Finally, there's Water. You find them in CM or Comet anomalies. They sell for around 60 bucks. Next, the anomalies. Anomalies are shits you find by using the system probes. The asteroid anomalies are AT, regular asteroid field, AL, large asteroid field, AA, fucking anti-air, accident asteroid field, AN, Narcor asteroid field, that has Narcor and red Narcor, and CM, comets. You get water there. Fucking Africans has to rely on comets. And VX, which is a Vexnium anomaly. When you do find VX, you shouldn't mine it, because when you do, Guardians awaken and they will whoop your ass. You need at least an Ozark and a Destroyer to safely mine Vexnium, and if you find any, contact some of the people you know to help. All of the asteroid anomalies have no enemy NPCs in them, 100%, so you can stay in them to probe safely. Next, we got WH, wormholes that will lead you to a random system. There are no drones that spawn near wormholes. MT, tier 3 monuments, has a ring of pristine common ores around them, and you can get buffs. There are no drone there neither. DH, drone hideout, don't go, you get raped. SP, spice platform, has drones, don't go, you'll get raped. DF, battlefield, has drones, don't go, you'll get raped. And finally, FO, forward outpost base or some shit. You can trade spies here. It's only good if it's in the wild and near a wormhole. You can sometime buy some shits for cheap there as well. Next, the planet aberrations. There are only 2. R, ring aberrations. You may find an ore deposit. Usually the ores here are much bigger and of higher quality. You can find any ore deposit in an R aberration, even Vexnium deposit. X, abandoned structures. You may find crates here that will give you free shits. They're really good. Always get them. Both R and X aberrations have no drone in them. Anomalies despawn and respawn randomly within 2 days. That means the system you explored like 3 days ago will have totally different shit if you go explore it again. And there you go. Now you're a master in space exploration. Anyway, back to mining with an otter. Now you gotta gather enough credit to buy yourself a mammoth, which is a hauler that costs 3,500 credits, so you can play Euro Truck Simulator in space. Now to sell your materials, do not do what the game tutorial tells you to do. It's a fucking scam. Go refine your ores first and come to this green terminal in the upper level. Go to the marketplace tab here and sell it here, because you can usually sell them for a higher price here. The green terminal is also where you put shit in your storage. So keep that in mind. During your grind for Mammoth, you'll probably get enough materials to get yourself a tractor beam. Always get yourself a tractor beam. It's gonna make your life a lot easier and it's gonna make the mining a lot faster. Basically, instead of having to go grab the ore yourself, you just use your tractor beam. That's it. Once you get enough credits, go to the marketplace and buy the Mammoth. And once you're done, go to the docking bay, go to the Foralkan embassy, talk to this dude, and enlist in the Foralkan Navy, because fuck the 3 other factions, they can suck my dick. Now go to the docking bay terminal, assemble your Mammoth, and spawn your Stratos. Not your Mammoth, not your fucking Otter, your Stratos. Because here's tip number 1. Always use Stratos unless you actually need to use the other ships. For example, if you're simply traveling through an insecure system, you don't need to be in your miner or hauler, you just need to be in Stratos. Once you're in your destination, you can just switch to your miner or hauler and do your business. This is because some fucking kids might be camping in some random ass insecure system, and if you go through there with your miner or hauler, you're fucking dead. But if you go there with a Stratos, you're also fucking dead. But at least you don't lose anything because you get infinite Stratos. Anyways, get in your Stratos, set course for either Polma or Metuark Sing. But what if I'm in another NPC factions? Well, you can go join Foralkan or go cry in the ditch, cause fuck you. Once you're here, you dock your Stratos and you spawn your Mammoth. Then you go down here in the station at the supply dock and you load some supplies for free. Then you travel to a nearby contested system, which is gonna be orange. Make make sure it's not a stronghold so you can still deliver supplies, and you fuck off there. If there's an enemy player there, then fuck off to another system. Do not lose your mammoth. Once you're in a system where there's no one disturbing your peace, check the upper left corner. There should be a blue circle thing that says HQ with a number. That indicates where the HQ of the system is, and you'll have to deliver the supplies to the HQ. So basically you warp to the planet that has this number. Then you go down there and you deliver. Would you look at that? Not even 3 minutes and you already earned 600. This is a lot faster than mining with a shitty otter. With this, you no longer have to worry about losing your otter because you can just get it replaced in less than 10 minutes. Now congrats, you are now promoted to kinda know how to play. So what should you be aiming for next? Well, a Nozark, and as you can see, it's pretty fucking expensive. If you're a fucking dumbass smooth brain, you can, of course, do like 100 holding runs or mine in your otter for like a couple of days to get it. But if you do have some IQ, I suggest you to do some of the followings to get Ozark a lot faster. You can either do wormhole spice trading, wild exploration, or ore hunting in contested systems. But before we start talking about any of these, you gotta learn how to probe a system properly and how to be a little bitch and warp log, because if you don't, you're gonna get killed pretty fast, like within the first minute. So as we know, the wild is filled with NPC enemies and they can pretty much keck your ship instantly. However, when you exit warp, enemy NPCs won't attack you for around 7 seconds unless you attack them. And lucky enough, 7 seconds are totally enough to get in warp again so they don't get any chance to shoot at you. So basically, to not get attacked, you want to be either in a place where there is no enemy NPC such as asteroid anomalies, wormholes, MT, ring, FO, or X structures, or you can stay in the warp because nothing can attack you when you're in the warp. And that is exactly how you should probe. Quickly launch your probe when you enter the system and immediately warp to a random planet. While you're warping, use your probe to scan around. The moment you exit the warp drive, immediately go to another planet to get back in warp. Basically, by constantly warping, the NPCs will never be able to attack you, and you can explore the wild system even when you're in a shitty ship. If you find any places that does not have any enemy NPCs, then sure, you can stay there to probe. Next, warp logging. If a player wants to eat your ass and is chasing you, your best bet is to warp log. Warp logging is basically safe logging without having to wait 30 seconds. All you have to do is warp to another system, and the moment your speed indicator freezes, you Alt F4. This will despawn your ship and you will be spawned in the system you were warping to when you log back on. Remember to not directly log back when you warp log because they might still be searching for you, so just go watch some YouTube videos or hentais, then come back. Now that you have mastered these two techniques, you can venture out in the wild and contested system without fear. Now the first money-making method, the wormhole spice trading, requires a wormhole. So don't even try to do this if you don't know a wormhole location. Basically, what you do is you would bring a Stratos with a dozen system probes to the wild through a wormhole. Scout out the system near the wormhole exit for a FO base. And once you have found the FO base, you note down the most expensive spice that you can sell to this FO. Get the fuck out of the wild, bring a mammoth, and basically go get the spice that sells the most to the FO. You can buy spices from these spice platforms and you can find them by jumping from planet to planet in a sector that sells the spice. To see where you can get the spice that you want to sell to the FO, get in map, press this, and voila, you can see everything. The color indicates what spice it sells. Sell the spice to the FO, buy the FO spice, and sell it back to a base near the place you got the spice you sold to the FO from. Yeah. Usually you should be able to earn around 10k per run, making this the fastest grinding method. However, the more you buy, the more expensive the spice will become, and the more you sell, the cheaper it becomes. Meaning that you can't be doing one trade route forever. You can maybe do like 7 runs before the trade route is no longer profitable. And if there are too many jumps in your trade route, then it's probably not profitable. Usually you should do less than 10 jumps in a good wormhole spice trade route. This method is very situational because for it to work you have to discover a trade route. But if you do discover one, please use it. It's very good. The next money making method is the wild exploration. This requires a little bit of luck, but you should be able to make bank if you do it properly. Basically, you bring bringing a shitload of system probes and planet probes with you. Go to the wild, preferably through a wormhole, and you would just scan every single system and all the planet aberrations. Do not forget the probing training. You have to stay in the warp or somewhere safe. Check every R aberrations and all the AT fields, and only mine the pristine Axnit, Narcor, Red Narcor, and Vexnium if you have any friends that can help you. Ignore everything else, it's not worth your time. Make sure to check every X aberrations, as they will at least give you 500 resources in their chest. If you get lucky, you will get more shits, and if Jesus loves you, you may find an ancient beacon that can be sold for 200k, which is actually not that rare if in a patch of space no one has ever explored before. 200k is enough for you to directly get a Kodiak, which is a miner that is even better than Ozark. Ignore CM because water price is falling and it takes forever to mine it. Now, one thing that you have to remember, for this to be profitable, you have to be in a system that no one has explored in the last 2 days. As mentioned before, anomalies respawn and despawn randomly within 2 days, so if somebody already explored the system that you just got into in the last 2 days, chances are he already snatched everything valuable. So how do you figure out if someone already explored the patch of space you're in? Well, if you're finding less than 2 structure X's and can't find any pristine Axnet, Narcor, or Red Narcor in the 4 to 5 system you have explored, that means someone has probably already been here and you should go explore somewhere else. And by that I mean jump to somewhere at least 10 systems away or find a wormhole that leads you to a middle fucking nowhere. On average, you should be able to get a Nozark if you explore 20 systems and a Destroyer if you explore 50 systems. Of course, you have to explore those systems thoroughly, meaning you have to scan every aberrations, check all the AT fields, and of course not explore systems that have been already explored. If you get lucky, you might just get a Destroyer in 2 hours. I mean, I did. I found like 3 ancient beacons in 2 hours, so who knows. Finally, we got ore hunting in contested systems. It is basically wild exploration, but instead of only mining everything Axnet, pristine, and above, you also mine pristine gallium and regular Axnet. In this case, you'll be spending a lot more time mining than exploring. You'll get money a lot slower this way, but it is somewhat safer than going in the wild, because you'll be spending a lot more time mining, so there are less chance of you fucking up the warp drive thing and get killed by drones accidentally. After getting an Ozark, you should either strive for a Kodiak or a Yukon. If you're a really good explorer and can make bank by simply exploring, then you can stick with your Ozark for a while, but it is heavily recommended to get at least a Kodiak in case something goes wrong. And Ozark has 3 mining turrets, Kodiak has 4, and Yukon has 6. Yukon also has a 125% mining rate, which is 25% higher than the other two, meaning that you will be able to get shits almost 2 times faster with a Yukon. The main reason why I suggest people to get a Yukon is because you can kind of AFK mine. You can just fucking sit there and watch a YouTube video or some shit. You can't do the same if you're just exploring, because if you fucking don't pay attention, you get kegged by the drones. Once you get a Ozark, I recommend you to get strip miners with tractor beam. Tier 1 strip miners are enough. You do not need tier 2 unless you're fucking rich. Now with a Ozark, you can kind of start mining for the sake of getting materials. I suggest you to only mine the pristine ores for the common ores, but if you wanna, you can also mine superior, I guess. Of course, wild exploring is still a lot faster, and with a Ozark, you can start mining shits with a greater efficiency, meaning you can explore more systems in less time. Also, you have a lot more health, so you don't get instantly kegged by the drones, meaning you have a bigger chance of survival. Now you just have to farm up to a Kodiak or Yukon, and then to a Destroyer. Have fun. Now I'll give you some tips. Always scout a wormhole with a Stratos. There might be people waiting for you on the other side. Always travel with a Stratos, and change to the needed ship once you arrive at the destination. Do not mine in unsecure. In fact, wild and contested are actually a lot safer. There are a lot of pirates in the unsecure systems in the core. Do not go near the Syndicate. There are a lot of pirates there. If you're mining or hauling, always get the fuck out of there if you see a player coming in your system. Warp log if he follows you. Do not trust strangers. The galaxy is dangerous. And that is about it. Bye.